Hi, Nadeem here from Smart Riding Gadgets. Today I am unboxing the Innovv N1 Pro system. This consists of a 6-inch display which runs CarPlay or Android Auto, as well as two dash cams, one for the front, one for the rear. They're both high def at 1080p, 30 frames per second. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I fitted the third eye blindside detector, which is a fantastic piece of kit, very well made and works extremely well. And I also fitted the Power Hub 3 for drawing power from an ignition switch source. Now, that's especially relevant if you have a CAN bus powered bike system, electrical system, because you can't just take power from anywhere, and you want it to switch off with the ignition and not stay live, like wiring straight to the battery. So I've already got that fitted, which means fitting this and drawing power for it is going to be much easier for me. Right, so let's have a look at this. This is the box that it comes in. Innovv do make quite nice boxes for this stuff, and it just gives it a better quality feel. Right, this is sealed, so I haven't opened this. I'm doing this as I film, because I haven't actually had a look at it yet. Let's break the seal. Okay, this is similar to the box the third eye blindside detector came in. It's a very kind of similar look and feel, but it is a quite nice box. Right, foam cover for protection. So what's inside? Right, so immediately you can see the unit and the two dash cams. Let's take the unit itself out. Right. Okay, I'm going to have to take the whole thing out. Some wires are attached to the back. There. Let's have a look at the unit. Right, there's some foam protecting the mount. Now, immediately you can see this is quite a high quality unit. I mean, this mount is really nice. The unit itself is a decent size. So these will be the connections for power and for the two dash cams, I would imagine. So that's what's there. Let's see what comes with it. Right, these are some of the mounts. These are more mounts, must be for the dash cams and stuff. Right, that's a power cable. Yep, that's a power cable. And I'm not sure what this one is for, but I think it's probably for the dash cam that runs to the back of the bike, so that would need to be longer, I would imagine. Anyway, I'll find out when I start looking at it in detail. Some zip ties and some tools. And I think this is the main mount for the dash cam itself. Let's have a look at this. Yep, that's the main mount for the unit itself. Oh, I think that must go on like that there. I'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, so that's what it all comes with. Nice piece of kit, and I'm looking forward to getting this onto the bike. I think this is going to be quite nice. Okay, so I'm about to start the fitting for the N1 Pro. Got the instruction manuals. I've had a good read through this. It seems pretty straightforward. What I'm going to have to do is run the wiring from here up the tank, up to the unit, and to the camera. And the camera I'm going to fit in one of the indicator stalks in the front, and same in the back, I'm going to fit the rear cam to one of the stalks at the back. The biggest issue I've had, which I've already kind of dealt with now, is where to put the main unit, because I have the BMW bracket on the bike, but I want to keep this because I'm going to put the phone mount into the bracket so that I can charge my phone and use that while I'm riding, because when you're using CarPlay or Android Auto, because you're using Bluetooth connection and Wi-Fi connection from the unit to the phone, it tends to draw quite a lot of power. So it's generally a good idea to have some form of charging for it. So I want to keep that there. And the bracket that comes from Innovv isn't large enough to fit in the center of my bars here, which is where I wanted to put it, was here really, but there's no way that bracket is going to fit there. So at some point I'll maybe try and get a bracket that will fit there. My choices was, either on the tapered end of the bar here, but then I thought I'll try it on the indicator stock, and I tried it there. I've sat in the bike and I actually quite like where it is. I like that I can just touch it easily and I can see easily as well, and it's still within my line of sight. I'm not having to look down or anywhere. And whether this is going to be a long-term solution, I don't know. But I mean, ideally, yes, I would want it here rather than here anyway. But for the purposes of getting it all up and running, I will put it here for just now. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is start taking the seat and everything off. Then I'm going to have to remove the tank panel here. I did this previously when I fitted the Innovv third eye blindside detector. So I've got the wires running up the side of the tank. There's a channel there. So that's where I'm going to put all the wiring for this. Well, I'll probably do this side because the unit is here. So I'll run up the channel on this side. So that's the plan. Right, so I've taken the seat off. So now I'm going to take this central panel off the GS Adventure. This is held in place with 2, 4, 6, 7 bolts. I think 6 of them are T25s, and I think the one down the centre there is a T30 if I remember right. So I need to get this off first. I think I've mentioned before, when I fitted the Innovv third eye, I fitted the Innovv Power Hub 3, which is here under the seat, which means that my wiring is going to be a lot simpler now, because this has got 5 feeds. I'm only using one right now to the blindside detector. So I'm going to wire, the power is going to come from the Innovv Power Hub. So I just need to wire it straight to here. And it's as easy as that. This is why I recommend, if you're getting any kind of accessories, even if you just buy one first of all, get the Innovv Power Hub. It's a very, very nice unit, and it just works. It's nice and easy. This is running to the battery, positive and negative, and then it's got this yellow cable which is linked to an ignition switched wire. So there is one in the GS. If you want to know where that is in any of the GSs, look in my blindside detector, the third eye blindside detector video. You'll see the wiring of this, every step of it, and exactly where to wire it as well. But on other bikes, I can't help you really, obviously, because they're all different. But generally speaking, there will be an ignition switch wire there. And then once you've done that, that's the hardest part over and done with. Any other accessories that you add are just simply straight into there. Nice and simple. Okay, now this has got clips that hold in place, like here, here, and up here. If you just wiggle your fingers in here, it just normally releases them quite easily. There we go. Now, so take this, just put it somewhere safe where you're not going to scratch it. Right, so that's the tank panel off. So next is, I need to get the wiring and start getting it ready to feed up, get it hooked up to power and everything to run up to the unit. Right, so, okay, so this is the power cable that comes with the N1 Pro. Now this is essentially, on this end here, this bit obviously goes into the unit, so that's going to be fed up there. This side is the important bit, where there's a positive, a negative, and a yellow cable. Now the yellow cable is the ignition switch wire. So it basically sends a signal to then switch on when there's an ignition switch source that gets turned on and power comes into it. But because we've got the power hub already fitted that does that function, what we have to do then is put the red positive and the yellow into the positive here, which is, running from the Power Hub 3. So I'll just connect these to this like this. I'll do that in a second. And negative, I'll ground that somewhere on one of the bolts or something. And that's as much as I need to do in terms of getting power for the unit. So I'm going to do that now. Now, Innovv supply this with terminals, with these terminals already fitted for, you know, if you're going to put it to a battery or something else. I'm not, so I'm going to remove these now. Yeah, so that's the yellow ignition switch cable and the red positive that I'm putting into the one here, because it's going to go into the power hub. And the ignition switch one needs to be in here with the power, because otherwise, you know, it won't switch on. Some people have found out when they're doing this and they don't know what to do with the yellow cable. Okay, now there's the other, this is from the power hub. So that's going to go into here so that it gives the power to the unit. You can tell I'm not an electrician, can you? Oh. Okay, so that's the power connected. I'm just going to tape this up with insulation tape. I don't like leaving them like this, so it's safe enough, but I'll just put some insulation tape over it in a minute. But that's the positive connected. I'm just going to connect this to one of the bolts here to give me the ground, and then from there I'm then going to run this up the side of the tank up to the unit for power. So the Innovv unit's got 3 connectors coming out the back of it. 2 of them are labelled as front and rear camera, and the other one is the power. It doesn't say, but it's a 3-pin connector when the other 2 are 4. So this just will go in place. Let's see, where's the little bit for it? Yeah, so it just slots in like that, and you just tighten it up. And that's the power connected. So technically we should have power to the unit, so I might just give that a go in a second just to check. Right, I'm going to turn the power on now and see if we've got power to the Innovv unit. Now the power hub gives a 10-second delay before it powers anything on, so because this is connected to the power hub, it will do that. Also, the third eye blindside detector will do a test. That's the test. And there we go, the Innovv unit's coming on. So we have power. Let's see what it looks like, because I've not powered it on yet, obviously. That's quite a nice little display. I haven't taken the screen protector off yet, so that's giving a bit of a glare to me at the moment, but that'll be one of the last things I do. Right, so I have a plan of action. Here's the camera. I've put it into this mount. There's a little rubber bracket that goes in here as well with 3M tape on it. So I put that in and that holds it in place. I think up is where it says Innovv, because that's how it is on the blindside detector. So I assumed it was the same with this. So I put that up straight. I'll find out as soon as I switch on, and if I need to adjust it, I just need to open one of the bolts and twist it around. But the plan is to use this L-shaped bracket with the long side, I think, out the way, and attach the camera to that here, like this, from the indicator stock. So I'm going to take the indicator off, and I think that should work. just going to tighten up a little bit. I'm not sure whether I should go over the top of it or underneath here, but there is something catching on this here, so it's just the way the indicator stock comes out here. There's a bit of metal sticking in it, so it's not letting me put it all the way down. So this is the wire from front camera. Now the unit's here, so it doesn't have very far to go, so I just need to connect it to here. So I'm going to feed it through here. Like so. Then I'm going to look for the front camera feed. That's rear. And this is front. So like I said, the cameras have got 4-pin connectors. And they're waterproof, so you just seal it up like this. So that's that one done. I'm going to cable tie these in a minute once I've got the wires in place and everything's actually working before I decide to tie it all in place, and then I find out that it's not working, so I'll do that later. Same with the power cable, I still need to run that and then tie this up as well. And now it's just the rear camera feed, and I have to run this to the back to where the camera's going to go in the rear indicator. Now there is one small issue with the rear camera feed coming out of the Innovv unit. I really think that they should have made this a lot longer rather than just the extension cable, because I need to allow for the steering as well to move and everything, this waterproof connector will stay out here. So, I would rather, if I could have run this all the way down the tank and to under the seat. So, if you guys are listening, this really needs to be about 1 meter long at least for the rear feed, because I know it's all very well putting this extension in, but it's not the most ideal solution. Same again on the rear indicator. I'm putting it on the same side, on the right hand side as the front. So I thought I might as well just keep it symmetrical. Okay, so that's the bracket going on. So here's the cam. I just need to figure which way is going to be best here. This may be a problem here because it's going too far in here and it's touching the bike itself, and it's sitting crooked, so it won't actually go in place properly. So I think I'm going to have to rethink this. I mean, I put the blindside detector onto the top box, and there's no reason why I can't do that with the camera as well and put it here. Right, so as it wasn't going to fit on the indicator, I've drilled into the top box and I've put the camera this side. This is the Innovv blindside detector on the other side. So I think I said when I fitted this, and in the video for that I said as well, I never take my top box off. It's never been an issue, and even if I did have to, all I have to do is just disconnect this wire and the whole thing will come off anyway. But it's been off twice since I've had the bike, so I'm not really worried about that. So that will be fine there. So now I just need to connect all the wiring up. For the rear camera, there is this long extension cable. So I'm going to join this up to this. And on the GS Adventure, you can run the cable just over here because it won't catch in anything. What I'll do is the hole here, I will feed it under there and then through here and then back up to connect to the actual unit. But you can feed it over here, or if you can be bothered, you can take everything off, take all of this off and then put it underneath there if you want to feed it right underneath. I haven't bothered because the seat covers it and it's not like you're going to see it, so I'm not really bothered. So let's just get this connected up. That's the wiring all completed. So the dash cams, both are connected up front and rear. I've run the power through under here So that's all the cabling done. Front and rear cams are connected, power is connected to the unit, the Innovv unit is up here. All that remains is for me to get the tank back together again, get the seat back on, and that's it done. And then I need to pair up my phone to the CarPlay as I use an iPhone. So once that's done, the bike's ready more or less. Right, so what I need to do now is get this micro SD card into the unit so that it will record from the dash cams. It comes with this tiny little screwdriver. I think it's Torx, it looks like Torx, I'm not sure. Again, with all these little hatches, do not over tighten them. Because if you do, you'll never be able to get into them again. See, this one was quite loose because they're just not designed to be that tight. Right, let's put this here. Okay, micro SD card's in. I'm going to start up the unit and I'm now going to start pairing my iPhone to the display. Okay, so interconnect. Turn on the phone with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Mobile phone, Bluetooth connection to the device. And CarPlay, listen. Okay, it's found the N1 Pro in the CarPlay menu. Right, so that should be connected, I think. Oh, yep. Let's switch that off just now. So, yep. If you can hear that, that's coming through the comms in the helmet now. So one other test, usually there's a problem with Waze or navigation systems and you can't hear them sometimes. Yeah, I heard something there. Right, let's try another destination and see if we can get some. Yep, I'm getting navigation sound as well, so that's all working. So that's been fairly painless, to be honest. Sometimes it can be a lot more hassle in some of these units, as a few of you have probably seen. But yeah, I mean, that's the sound coming through the comms. So everything's working as it should, as far as I can see. Let's stop that and let's see, where's the menus for the dash cams? There's the dash cams, that's the front and rear showing. I'll need to figure out how to start recording and stuff and whatever else. I'm assuming that starts recording. Is there anything there? Yep, it's just what I've just recorded. It's been recording all along. So it has been recording since it's been switched on, so it must do it in a loop. But anyway, I need to read the instructions and figure that side of it out. And I'm hoping to get some of the footage off this and put it into another video once I take it out for a ride and stuff.